Hey guys, I am thinking about pruning back my lavender hedge that I have on my sidewalk leading to the house. Um, they look like they're about spent. There's still some flowers on them, but I think for the most part they're spent and you could see new growth are starting to emerge. Although some of them look like they're dying back, see over here? And I think it's getting too much water because when it rains, all the water comes from the house down this way and then it sits over here, and we had like a week worth of rain. So literally it was like sitting in a pool of water for a whole week, and you can see a lot of them suffered. See how it's like browning back over there? So I think what I want to do, since the flowers are pretty much spent and it is only like the middle of June, I am gonna cut it back, prune it back really hard, probably down to here to where it's showing a little stub, and then let the new fresh growth push through. So I have this hedge over here I need to do. So starting from here all the way to here, and then on this side the same thing. I mean, there's still some blooms on them and the bumblebee are still loving it, but they're starting to get a little bit straggly. So I want a new fresh flush of bloom. So I'm going to trim it back really hard. And the ones on this side, see how it doesn't trail over the side like the other side over here? So we're expected to get a couple of days of rain starting tomorrow. So I think I'm going to prune it back really hard, and then I'm going to move them. See how this one is like all the way over here? I'm going to probably move it and put it like right on the edge, so that when it does grow again, it'll flush over to the side and create this. So this is kind of, I want it to spill over the side, but they're almost too far back. And the reason I planted them that way to begin with is because I actually had bulbs that were supposed to line all along here, but they sat in a pool of rain. When it rains really hard in Georgia, zone 8A, it just sits there, and I think it just rotted away. So I'm gonna get started. I think I'm gonna just prune them back, and then if I have enough energy, since it's so hot out here, then I'll transplant this side. But I'm gonna start on this side, starting with these two. And I didn't have enough to make a complete full hedge, as you can see, but I did propagate it some, so I have a couple of cuttings, well, plants now that are starting to bloom, and they're just gonna have to take their time and do their thing. So hopefully they will grow and become as big as the other ones. I'm gonna set the camera up so I can do this. Alrighty, sorry. It's hard when you have one hand and you're trying to do everything. Okay, so I'm gonna start with that one. So basically, easiest thing to do, I am kind of nervous because I'm new at this, but the best thing to do is just give it a hard cut. So I'm gonna go in, starting from here, just kind of clump them together. If you have a shear, it'll probably be a lot better than doing it this way. But I don't have one, so. And usually in the springtime, if you want to get a bundle of lavender to freshen up your house or wherever you want it, you just come out, take a bundle, and then shape it to however you want, when of course it's not spent. Tie it off and then hang it upside down. And then once it dries, you can hang it straight up and then put it in a vase. And then you got a bouquet of flowers that smells amazing. next one, and I'm just gonna keep on going down the road. Oh, I did miss a few, didn't I? There we go. So same thing with this one. Just kind of bundle it together where you can grab it. Cut it back. And don't be afraid. They'll love you for it. I actually did this last year, and I took a couple of bouquets in the house and dried them. And they're still in the house. They smell amazing. So that's what they look like. All chopped up and pruned. Gonna keep moving you back. Now, I have other plants in the ground that, of course, the bee can do their thing with pollination, getting their food source. So I'm not too worried that they're going to starve to death. If they really want food, they can seek it out in my garden. I have echinacea growing. I have salvia. There's rosemary, there's coneflower. So they definitely have their choice of whatever they want on their menu. Keep going. So usually I prune back to where you can see where it has new growth, but I'm not cutting all the way back to the woody stems where there isn't any growth, because sometimes those get too woody and then they don't produce anything. These are beautiful because they grow early spring, so as you can see from my videos that I had. Sorry, it's starting to get so hot and muggy and sweaty. I'm sweating just talking to you and sitting. So see how it's woody all the way back here? You don't really want to cut it to there. So cut it where you see fresh growth. And then that way you for sure guarantee some growth to come back instead of cutting it so far back that it won't have a chance to grow. But this is one of them that might be dying, because it's sitting in the pool of water I was talking to you about earlier. As you can see, it has a lot of dye back over here. So generally you try to want to do it the same length as all of them, so when they do flush back out, they kind of give it the same height and not have all different shapes and size. Sometimes it's kind of hard to measure, so just gotta eyeball it. Everything about gardening is eyeballing it. Got weeds growing in here better than my plant. Another one. I'm by no means an expert, guys, just doing what I can to help the garden. Some tricks work, some don't. But I did this last year when I cut back the lavender to bring in as bouquets, dried bouquet. And it seemed to have worked. I got a second flush of bloom, so I'm not too scared about it. But it gets to the point to where They almost look too shaggy. And I want this place to look a little nicer. Moving on up. See how this one has a lot of dieback over there? Ooh. Sometimes it's a little nervous even for me to cut. Definitely smells good when you're cutting it over here. That's for sure. I think that rain that's coming is going to do it good to send up some fresh growth. It's a strange sounding bird. And while you're in it, get those weeds out of there. The more you wait, the harder they get. Woo, talk about a workout. I'm doing my squats, everything, all at once. This bundle would be pretty to hang upside down and then keep as a bouquet. Small one, you gotta cut them back. Got a small little tiny one over here that's grown. Now this is all part of gardening. I wish it could stay like how you plant it and how it grows and it stays in perfect condition. You don't have to do anything, but this is the part of the gardening that a lot of us dread. The maintenance of it, the upkeep of it. It's a little tedious at times, especially with the weather when it gets hotter and hotter. And you don't want to be outside. That's why I'm doing it like at 7 o'clock at nighttime. Doing this in the sun would be even more miserable. All right. Let me see. How are we doing? A couple more on this side. And I'm sweating to death. This girl doesn't glow. I sweat. Smell, ooh, the lavender smell is amazing. If you guys don't grow lavender, I definitely suggest growing lavender. It's just an amazing fragrance. Calming, it's soothing. Every time I walk by, I get a whiff of it. Can never get enough. Almost done, you guys. Well, almost done on one side. The good and the bad about having so many plants, I guess. The maintenance you have to do on it. Ow, that one's caught on that rose. Look, that one caught on the rose, and I got a thorn. You see it right there. Okay, this is how it looks so far. A little bit better. Oh, this one you can look back and see how it looks. And if it's not shaped the way you want, or it's a little awkward, just cut it back a little bit more. Let's see. All right, time to tackle this side. Whew. Look at this side. I am sweating like a warthog. I don't think warthogs sweat. If they do, it would kind of be like how I am, I guess. Okay, how am I going to tackle this? This one seems a lot bigger on this side than that side. Alrighty, here we go. Looking to make sure there's nothing underneath there that can get me. Look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? Just go in there and go at it, you guys. There we go. See how this one, when I cut it back, it's like really far from the border. So I want it to come definitely a lot closer. Alrighty. Start on the second one. There's your bouquet. Now my nose is running. No, I'm not gonna go catch it. Just kidding. Yeah. Look at the amount of blooms you get from these. Can you believe that? sometimes you see weeds and grass. Grass always tends to grow where I don't want it to grow. And then of course, they don't grow where I want it to grow. Sorry for all the sniffing. Ooh. And then I think I'm going to transplant these alliums out of here. There was a hedge of them. There was a hedge of alliums, but they kind of all died too because they're bulb. So I think I'm going to transplant these, put them somewhere else. Whew. In here too. Oh, this bumblebee still wants its food. It's supposed to be done already. But I see it's still trying to meet its quota. Buzzing right by my ear. Hopefully it leaves me alone knowing I tend to the garden for him. Right? There's a huge piece of grass right there. Nice buzz. I hear those bumblebees still around me. They're going for the allium. Ooh. Ooh, one more to go, you guys. Although I hate to tackle that one, there's still a couple bumblebees around it. Oh, so I want to show you something real quick. So for those of you who are scared to cut it all the way back, so once they're done blooming, this one still looks really good, but I want it to all keep in uniform. So if you look really good down here, see all that new growth? So you just want to cut it all the way back there where there's still new growth. And then that way it'll flush back for you. Stepped on a small tiny one that I was growing. But it looks like it's dead anyways. Alrighty. Well, that was no small easy chore. Look, I got bundles of lavender here, here, and here, and then a couple more over there. Whew. I don't know if I have the energy to dig all this up, but I probably should. And then with tomorrow's rain, it'll get saturated and it'll be more the happier. So over here, now you can see him. He looks nicer, a little bit more clean kept. I know, I'm sorry. My garden is a work in progress. I wish it was really nice and showy and perfectly in bloom, but it's not, so I just do it one day at a time. These are sedum, autumn joy, I believe. Some of them have already started blooming. Others are just coming into bloom. Over here it's pretty bare because the rose is having massive issue with the black spots. I can't seem to get it under control. I mean, I've treated them multiple times and I have pretty much just given up. Just kind of, as they grow, cut them back and then let them reshoot back up. Here's a coneflower. Isn't that beautiful? So when everything is starting to kind of pewter off like the lavender, the coneflower is doing really good. So I'm thinking maybe next year I'll have that lavender hedge all along here. Then I might, next row will be the red coneflower. I might take out my roses and plant them out in the main garden bed just because they struggle so much, and I want this area to be a lot nicer without having the issues with the roses. So they might have to go. I would hate to do that, but I can't seem to get them under control. See here, this one? This little one, it's starting to affect it. No matter how much I pluck at it and spray it, it still happens. Even when I I train it into a standard form so that the leaves don't touch the bottom. But you can see they even travel all the way up here. All the way up here. And this rose is like 5.5 feet. So I might give up on that. But anywho, that's my project for today. I think the video is long enough. I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to watch me dig lavender and transplant them. But that's how you prune back, cut it back. I'm waiting for a second flesh to come through. I think since it's cool somewhat, I'm gonna dig this up and move it forward. And then this side is okay, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. And then just clean up this pile and put it in the dumpster. Normally I would, of course, bring it in and dry it, but they're past the point of drying. I know a lot of people, Lauren Garden Answer, she's done a video on how to make a wreath out of it, which is amazingly beautiful, but I'm not very artistic. So they are gonna go into the trash. That is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you are having a great day. You know, enjoy your garden. I know it's a lot of work, and I know we all gardener wants our garden to look beautiful and perfect right from the start, and that's not a possibility. So don't be discouraged. Keep going, keep plugging at it, keep chugging, and you know, it's there for your enjoyment. So do what you need to do, but enjoy your garden. That's what it's meant for. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.